ever scroll through social media, trying on those like goofy filters, and then it kind of hits you, you're using augmented reality.
Yeah.
That's XR, already part of our lives. And today, we are diving deep into this whole world of extended reality, going way beyond just those filters, though,
It is, it's fascinating how much we already interact with XR daily without even realizing it.
Yeah.
We're talking everything from entertainment to healthcare. Even like the way we work is being impacted by this stuff.
Absolutely. And we've got a ton of research, articles, all that good stuff to unpack today. Our mission with this deep dive, give you, the listener, a clear picture of where XR is at right now, where it's headed, and what it could all mean, for you, for all of us, really.
Yeah. I think it's about kind of going beyond just the hype.
Right.
And really sort of getting down to the real potential here, but also, acknowledging the challenges.
For sure. Okay, so first things first. XR, extended reality. It's the umbrella term, right?
Correct.
Covers VR, AR, and MR. We hear these terms everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
So let's, break them down a little.
Okay.
VR, virtual reality. That's probably what comes to mind first for most people.
Right. It's the most, well-known right now.
Yeah, you think those immersive gaming experiences, you're wearing a headset totally in a different world.
Right, but it's not just gaming, of course.
No, absolutely not. We're talking virtual concerts.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, Travis Scott and Fortnite?
Yeah.
Or even ABBA, right? They did those digital avatars for their tour.
It's wild.
It's wild.
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
And then you've got AR, augmented reality.
Okay.
That's the one that sort of overlays those digital elements onto the real world.
So that's our social media filters and things like that.
Exactly. Your filters, but also things like heads-up displays in cars,
Oh, right. Showing your speed and all.
Yep, exactly. Navigation, things like that.
Okay, so VR puts you in a new world. AR adds to the one you're in. What about MR then?
Right.
Mixed reality sounds even more futuristic.
It's where the two worlds, kind of start to blend together a little bit more. Imagine digital objects that can actually interact with the physical world and in real time.
Okay, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Think about surgeons using AR overlays during an operation, right?
Right.
To see vital information right there.
Oh.
Or architects, manipulating 3D building models in front of their eyes, as if they're really there.
Okay, things just got real. So we've got these definitions down, VR, AR, MR, but how about some concrete examples of XR happening right now?
Yeah, for sure.
Not just the future stuff, but changing the game right now.
Absolutely. Let's start with something I think most people can relate to, the gaming industry.
Okay.
VR gaming has just exploded these past few years. Games like Half-Life, Alyx, for example, really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
In terms of
the storytelling, the gameplay being really immersive.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things about Half-Life, Alyx. It's supposed to be a game changer. But what I think is interesting is how much more accessible VR gaming is becoming. Remember when those headsets used to cost a fortune?
Oh, totally. You're right.
Yeah.
Platforms like Oculus Quest 2 have really made it, more affordable, which opens it up to so many more people.
Definitely. And it's not just that the hardware is getting cheaper, right? The technology itself is constantly evolving.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Graphics are way more realistic now.
Oh, yeah.
The tracking is more precise. And we're starting to see, things like haptic feedback suits.
Whoa.
So you can actually feel things in the virtual world.
Wow. Okay, so gaming is one thing, but we're also seeing XR make a real impact on things like education, which is really cool. One of the articles we have talks about VR classrooms where students can travel inside the human body.
Oh, wow.
Or even do virtual experiments. How cool would that have been?
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It has so much potential to really change how we learn, making it more immersive, engaging.
Right.
Imagine if you could go back in time, experience historical events firsthand.
Oh, my gosh.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Explore the ocean, travel to different planets, all without leaving the classroom.
It's giving me flashbacks to, boring textbook days back in school. I would have paid way more attention in history class if I could have experienced it in VR. But seriously, the possibilities for education seem endless with this.
Yeah, they do. And it's not even just about making it more fun, although, come on, that's a bonus.
Right.
But it's about creating a safe space for these students, right? They can practice real-world skills.
Oh, that's a good point.
Imagine practicing surgery or flying a plane, even just giving a presentation in a totally safe environment.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got entertainment, education, but XR is also making a huge splash in healthcare, which is really interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Some of what we read talked about surgeons using AR during, get this, operations to improve their precision, which honestly sounds incredible and also a little, I don't know.
Yeah, it's incredible. But it makes sense, right? They're getting real-time information, you know?
Right, right.
Like a patient's vital signs, maybe even the exact location of, say, a tumor during the actual operation.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And it's not just surgery either, right? What about using VR to help people with, like, phobias
Yeah.
or PTSD?
The VR therapy is huge. It's showing a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're creating that really controlled, safe environment for people to, face their fears, but also practice how to cope.
That makes sense.
Imagine that, like, if you're afraid of heights, but you can use VR to kind of get yourself used to being on a virtual balcony,
Yeah, yeah. That's incredible. So it seems like healthcare really has almost limitless possibilities with XR.
I mean, yeah. And what's exciting is that it does feel like we're just getting started, really. Healthcare, education, all of it. There's just so much potential there. Oh, yeah, we've seen some really cool stuff already, but there's this, other side to all this. The what ifs, the what knows. It comes with any new tech.
Yeah.
But especially something this, I don't know, revolutionary.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about the challenges for sure, because for as exciting as all this is, I mean, there's got to be another side to it.
Of course, yeah.
I've definitely gotten my fair share of, like, VR headaches from wearing those headsets for too long.
Tell me about it. User comfort is a big one, for sure. Eye strain, motion sickness.
Yeah.
Developers are working on it. But it's bigger than that. It gets into things like privacy. That's a major one.
Oh, absolutely. Because it is a little unnerving when you think about how much data these devices could be collecting on you. I mean, your movements, your reactions, like, as the tech gets better, maybe even your emotions at some point.
It's true. And that's why it's so important to be having these conversations now alongside all the development.
Yeah.
How do we handle that data ethically?
Yeah.
What control do users have? A lot of it, honestly, is still up in the air.
It's like, I don't know, are we building the plane as we're flying it? Something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Which is exciting, but, you got to be really careful with that. And what about the tech side of things? Like, I know for those really intense VR experiences, you need a really powerful computer, right?
You do, yeah.
Is that going to limit, I don't know, who gets to be a part of this whole XR future if it's really expensive?
That's a good point. And right now, yeah, the cost can be a real barrier.
Right.
The headsets, the computers.
Yeah.
It's not easy for everyone to just jump in.
Yeah.
But I always think about, like, the early days of smartphones.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see where you're going with this.
They used to be a luxury, right?
Well,
and now, I mean, everybody's got one.
That's true.
As technology gets more, mature, those costs come down. It just naturally becomes more accessible. And we are seeing more affordable headsets coming out all the time.
That's good to hear. So there's hope that it won't just be a toy for the wealthy, basically.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
But, even if we solve the money problem, we still have to think about, just equitable access in general.
Right.
Not everyone has the same opportunities, even to just, try this stuff out, learn about it.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. It's not enough for this tech to just exist. It has to be something everyone can use and benefit from, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can't let it make those inequalities worse.
Right, right. It's, like you said earlier, it goes beyond just the tech itself.
Oh.
It's about how we actually use it to, hopefully build a better future for everyone, more fair, more inclusive.
Exactly. And that actually makes me think of, another big area where this could have a huge impact. Work, collaboration.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine a world where, it doesn't matter where your coworkers are.
Right.
You could all be working together in this shared virtual space.
Hold on. So no more, like, horrible commutes. No more awkward video calls where the Wi-Fi is bad.
Right.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
But seriously, how would something like that even change, how we think about work?
It could be huge for remote work.
Yeah.
Make it more engaging, more productive. We could see virtual offices, global teams working across the world, and who knows, maybe even whole new industries we haven't even thought of yet, all built around this idea of virtual collaboration.
It's like, are we talking about a whole new era of work here? That's kind of wild.
It really is.
But with all that change, I have to ask, I mean, we're talking about how we work, how we connect with people, maybe even how we experience the world. Does any of this, like, worry you? the impact on actual human connection.
I get it.
Like, if we can have these amazing, super realistic experiences in VR, will anyone even want to, I don't know, go outside and see their friends in person anymore?
That's a question that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a good one.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it's not an either-or situation, you know?
What do you mean?
It's not like one replaces the other. Instead, XR just gives us this whole new way to connect. It could even make our relationships stronger.
So you're saying instead of replacing real life, it could actually make real life better.
Exactly. Like, imagine being able to actually share experiences with people you love, but who live really far away, as if you were right there in the room with them.
Yeah.
Or even think about, like, people with disabilities. Sometimes the real world has all these barriers, right?
Yeah.
But XR could give them new ways to connect, to be a part of things.
Yeah, it's like instead of just focusing on what XR can't do, it could actually help us, I don't know, overcome some of those limitations we deal with in the real world.
Totally. And create these experiences that are more accessible to everyone. Connect us in ways we probably haven't even really thought of yet.
Exactly. It's exciting stuff. But it does, when you really get into it, it raises some pretty big questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
About, like, I don't know, what is reality even?
It's true. Because, think about it. As these virtual experiences get more and more realistic, and they're getting really good, how do we even tell the difference, right?
Right.
Between what's real and what's not? And how will that change how we see the world, as we spend more and more time in these digital spaces?
It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. Like, if you can have these crazy, vivid experiences in VR, will it change how you look at your everyday life?
That's a good question. And researchers are looking into that. Some think that XR could actually make us appreciate the real world even more.
Really?
Yeah, make us more mindful.
Interesting.
More present, even when we're not plugged in.
So it's not about, like, escaping reality then. It's more like it adds to it somehow.
That's the idea. Expanding our horizons a little, exploring, and hopefully, helping us understand ourselves and the world a little better along the way.
I like that. So we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive. The practical stuff like XR being used in healthcare, education, which is amazing. Yeah. And then the bigger picture stuff, how it could change the way we work, how we connect with each other, how we see reality itself. I mean, it's a lot. And honestly, it seems like this tech has the potential to change everything.
And like we keep saying, it's not just about the technology itself, It's about the choices we make. How do we make sure everyone has access to this?
Right.
How do we protect our privacy? All of that. We have to be thoughtful about it so it really does benefit everyone.
100%. It's both exciting and, I don't know, a little bit daunting at the same time. But the cool thing is, it's not like the future is already decided. You know what I mean?
Totally.
We're figuring it out right now. These conversations we're having, the research that's being done, all of it plays a role.
Yeah.
We're not just watching the future happen, we're actually shaping it. And I think that's what makes this such an interesting time to be, following this, learning about it.
Absolutely. And on that note, to everyone listening, we've thrown a lot of information at you today, explored the incredible potential here, but also some of the, real challenges, the ethical stuff we got to figure out. And now we want to hear from you.
Yeah. What are you excited about? What worries you? And what do you think your life will be like, with XR as a part of it?
Yeah.
5-10 years down the road. It's a big question, but we've only just scratched the surface. So keep those questions in mind. And who knows, maybe your ideas will be the ones shaping the future of extended reality.